Hey everybody, how's it going? It's the Daily Shooter, and today we have some very important breaking news out of California. A judge has granted an injunction in California's ammunition law, effectively allowing citizens to purchase ammunition without a background check and import ammunition out of state and have ammunition shipped directly to your house. I'm going to go ahead and post links over on my website for a little bit more information and where you might be able to find ammunition and who might actually send that ammunition into the state. But if you want to know more about it, stay tuned. So over the past hour or so, my phone's been exploding. People are telling me about the injunction on the ammunition regulations in California, and I just couldn't believe it. You know, this is a case that was filed years ago, and to be honest with you, it just kind of fell off my radar because these things take a long time. So when people started telling me what happened, I was just absolutely shocked. This is like a second Freedom Week for California, but instead of magazines this time, it's for ammunition. So this is a really big deal. But I didn't just want to jump in front of the camera based off of what a bunch of people were telling me. I wanted to make sure that I read it for myself. So I went over to the Michelle and Associates website and I checked their status on the case, and sure enough, it said that an injunction was granted in the case of Rode v. Becerra. So we have Kim Rode versus Javier Becerra, and I want to read to you guys what the judge wrote here in the order. So this is what the judge wrote. Okay, this is basically page 1 in the injunction. So I'll go ahead and I'll link this down below. So if you guys want to read it for yourself, you can read this. But the judge wrote, and this is interesting because this is not typical language that I read from a judge when it comes to orders like this. Page 1, line 16, it starts, the experiment has been tried. The casualties have been counted. California's new ammunition background check law misfires, and the Second Amendment rights of California citizens have been gravely injured. In this action, plaintiffs seek a preliminary injunction enjoining California's onerous and convoluted new laws requiring ammunition purchases, background checks, and implementing ammunition anti-importation laws. For these reasons that follow, the motion for preliminary injunction has been granted. So here it is on my phone. The link's down below. I'll put a link to my website to where maybe I know that Palmetto was a big one last time, that as soon as the injunction was granted, they were sending magazines into California. If you guys go over to my website and you'll see a big banner, what I'll do is I'll go over there. I'll try and find anybody that's going to be willing to send ammunition into California, and I will list them there so that you guys can simply click on it and see if they're allowing ammunition to be sent into California. Because from what I've read here, and I read probably 90% of it because some of it's just like legal mumbo jumbo, but I read about 90% of it, and it seems like you don't have to go through a vendor nor an FFL. It looks like you can just jump online, buy ammunition, and have it delivered directly to your house. The injunction stands on the Prop 63 law that is affecting ammunition. And so this is a very big deal. It's a very important topic. And, basically what the judge said as I continued to read this was that people were required to show proof of citizenship. They were required to show ID. There were people that were, injured by this because they were trying to get ammunition and they didn't have maybe the proper identification, and so they weren't allowed to, even though they were a U.S. citizen. And so the documents that they had were, he was basically citing all of the instances where people were being denied ammunition through a faulty background check system that California was running. And so the judge saw through everything that was going on here and granted the injunction. Now, obviously, just like in the original Freedom Week, California is going to step in and they're going to want to stay on this. So this is not something that's probably going to last for very long. And again, it's all determinant on whether or not these vendors or, the FFLs, or the out-of-state vendors, because one of the things that was mentioned was that out-of-state business and interstate commerce was also injured by this because it forced online retailers that were out of state to jump through extra hoops and pay extra fees and so forth in order to get their ammunition in there, which made for a really bad market. So it's again, it's a pretty big deal, but it's all determined by whether or not these online retailers and stores are willing to go with it, or if they're just going to wait for some type of further ruling. But the injunction is there. You should be able to go out and buy ammunition. Now, obviously, the California Department of Justice has to notify FFLs. They have to notify vendors of this. So this might not be something that's going to, you're not going to be able to take advantage of it immediately if somebody's not aware of this. But I'm sure the DOJ at this point is going to have to notify, California vendors and FFLs for at least the time being to release ammunition to people who have ammunition waiting. And if they want to purchase further ammunition, you should be able to do it. According to this. This is a very, very interesting one, and I didn't really want to rush it, but again, this is such a big deal. I wanted to jump on camera, and you heard it right there. The judge granted the injunction in Road v. Becerra regarding ammunition and Prop 63 and all the new ridiculous laws that have taken place. So, hey, California, enjoy a small Freedom Week while you can. It's every little win is a win. That's the way I look at it. Every little win is a step in the right direction. So good on Kim Road for at least winning this portion of the fight. Continue fighting.